And another one of this fraud file case. And this one, yes, I have an image for you. I have an image for you. Hello, guys. Welcome back again to another episode of Fraud File. Yes, some of our Nigerians who are committing crime in diaspora, this is another section. Okay, I found another video, I found another post actually that was reported by People's Gazette, and I'm going to screenshot it here. Okay, in case you want to go read at your leisure time to know what it's all about. But yes, as always, I'm going to read it as it is in the article. Okay, this is not me forming stories. I've actually seen a channel who shares stories like this, but I have never seen him share evidence of where he's getting those stories from. And this is not me calling him out, okay? When I bring stories like this, I always like to share where the article is from, so it doesn't look as if I'm telling fibs. But hey ho, maybe he or she is doing it so that someone like me will not go and do the same video. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put a screenshot. I found this news article on People's Gazette, and I can guarantee you that if I go onto the Department of Justice of the US, this news is also going to be there. Upon going there, if I find it has been reported there, I'll also put a screenshot of it here to say, you know what, these news are like they are daily shared news of all these people committing frauds. If you go to the Department of Justice of the United States, it depends on each of the states. They always put all of these news there. So it's not as maybe I'm coming here to come and give you story. No be that case. Anyway, it says here that US begins prosecution of extradited Lagos-based Yahoo Boy Olamide Shanu over $2 million wire fraud. So according to Mr. Shanu's indictment, he and his conspirators disguised themselves as females on social media. And yeah, like I said, I have an image of this one, and I'm going to pop the image. In fact, his picture and his passport page, yes, they gave us. People's Gazette gave us. So it says here that the US authorities have commenced the prosecution of Lagos-based Yahoo boy Olamide Shanu, who was extradited from the UK over his involvement in sextortion and wire fraud. There was a case of a young boy as well, something similar, that they actually extradited those young boys from Nigeria to the US because a young boy actually passed away because of what they did to him. Okay, so it says here that over his involvement in sextortion and wire fraud, though US authorities have commenced the prosecution of Lagos-based Yahoo boy Olamide Shanu, who was extradited from the UK over his involvement in sextortion and wire fraud, through which he, in quote, obtained at least $2 million. The US Department of Justice, in a statement on Thursday, just Thursday that passed here, said Mr. in quote, Shanu, age 34 of Lagos, Nigeria, made his initial appearance yesterday after his extradition to the United States from the United Kingdom. Mr. Shanu, who made his initial appearance before US Magistrate Judge Deborah K. Gresham, the DOJ said, in quote, is charged in an 8-count indictment with wire fraud, conspiracy, aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to commit interstate communications with intent to extort, and cyber stalking. He was also charged with conspiracy to commit extortion, money laundering, conspiracy, extortion, interstate communications with intent to commit extortion, and cyber stalking. Mr. Shanu and his, in quote, conspirators engaged in this extortion of numerous victims across the United States, including a college student in Idaho. In quote, the DOJ said, if convicted of the charges, Shanu faces up to 20 years in federal prison. He also faces restitution for the losses incurred by the victims of the fraud of the scheme. So when they ask for restitution, I want to believe that they've been able to get hold of that money they stole, but then they will have to make sure that they serve their jail time. So he committed the fraud in Nigeria. They now extradited him from the UK to the US. Like US will, they don't care about the cost. As long as they have the evidences to make sure that they get you, they will get you. As long as they're able to find you, they will find you and they will bring you from wherever you are. What hole you find yourself, they will bring you. And I'm super happy that they are getting these people. So, according to Mr. Shanu's indictment, he and his conspirators disguised themselves as females on social media and persuaded their victims, typically males, to send actual images of themselves. Once the victims sent the explicit images, he threatened to send them to the victims' friends and families unless the victims paid money. So, like I said, there was a case involving a younger football player in the US. I think the boy was about 16 years old. He was also entangled with some young boys, and they threatened him that if he doesn't give them money, I think it was $200 or something that they asked from him, and he could not give it to them. They blackmailed him, saying that they were going to do this, and that young boy actually unalived himself, and I think it was in Canada or somewhere. So those out of the 4 boys that were involved in this case, they were able to extradite, I think, 3 from the United States, and I'm sure I did a video saying that they've been able to extradite the other boy. So 2 out of the 4 were brothers. So they extradited 3, and I'm sure they've extradited the 4th one as well. So yeah, a young boy died because of $200. Can you imagine? So anyway, Mr. Shanu allegedly obtained at least $2 million fraudulently from his victims, laundering it through peer-to-peer payment applications and several cryptocurrency wallet addresses before transferring it to the scheme's perpetrators in Nigeria. Citing court filings in 2023, People's Gazette, they were the one who reported that the United States Secret Service took over Mr. Shanu's Binance account after tracing a $2.5 million wire fraud, money laundering and sextortion scheme to his account. So now, like I said, I am bringing this news to you guys as always so that we know and shame those people who are ruining the images of Nigerians abroad. This one committed this crime in Nigeria. And yes, they've been able to find him and they are bringing him to the US. As it is, they have already started this case. According to this article from the People's Gazette there that I know of, he's been extradited. He's going to pay $2 million. And yes, we have his image and we have his passport image as well. Yes, they blurred out his date of birth, but I'm going to put it here. Olamide Shanu, that's his name. And it's just weak. It's crazy how wicked some Nigerians are. You see, when Buhari said lazy Nigerian youth, Buhari was not lying. May God rest his soul. Buhari was not lying. And with the way it is now, I can't even imagine what his jail term sentence will be. So if I find an update, like all of these cases, guys, I'm going to take note of them so that when I find an update, like this one now, they are just about to start its prosecution. So once it gets prosecuted, I'm going to bring it back to let you know how many years it's serving in jail. I'll probably be imagining for wire fraud, some cases of wire fraud that I've seen, they always carry cases of like maybe 5 years or 10 years. Now that this one now included sextortion, it might be maybe it's going to be spending 18 years or 25 years in prison. At the age of 32 years old, he's going to probably be spending the next half of his life in jail. And yes, in prison jail in the United States, and they will show him Pepe. Yes, prison conditions in the US cannot be the same as Nigeria, but I'm sure he'll be thanking his God that he's going to spend his jail time in the US. But truth of the matter being told, there are so many opportunities available in Nigeria as well. I know it might not be the same for everybody. But if you have the time to go on social media, is it not money that you are using to buy data? Is it not money that you're using to buy data? How did you afford the laptop? You will need to have constant electricity in the house that you're using to commit all of these crimes. Why don't you use that money, put those money together and start something for yourself? But yes, shit hole. Like Trump said, Nigeria is a shit hole. And Buhari said that lazy Nigerian youths. Some are actually not lazy. They just don't want to go and work. They don't want to go out on the street to go and work. They would rather steal from people. Don't get me wrong, there are some hardworking Nigerians in Nigeria who are trying their best. There are some young Nigerians. Example of them is Hilda Bassi. She's doing great for herself. There are other young Nigerians out there as well who are actually doing great for themselves, and they are not going about defrauding people. But there are some who would rather just steal from people. You can imagine the story of that young boy I said involving 4, and those 4 boys that were extradited, they were all below the age of 20. And because they were there to blackmail the young boy in Canada of $200, and that boy was 16 years old, an handsome young boy who plays rugby. Because he was not able to give them the $200, they were going to release his images because yes, where he thought he was chatting to a girl, and it turned out that the person he was chatting was actually not a girl. It was a fraudster, a young 17 or 18-year-old boy in Nigeria. And because they asked him to pay $200, otherwise they were going to share it to the social media. He could not provide that money. Instead, he hung himself. He pied himself. Like, look at those people. Yes, they were able to extradite them. And like I said, guys, the reason why I'm bringing this is because these people is going to serve his jail term and they will deport him back. And we don't want them serving in any governmental role in Nigeria. God help him. Maybe after he comes out of jail, he might be able to set himself up. God help him. But in all this, the purpose of this video is to make sure that life of crime is not the best way to go. Life of crime is not the best way to go, because especially if you have children. What kind of legacy, what kind of lesson are you instilling in your children? There's dignity in the work of your hands, a diligent legal job. And yes, this is also it's going to paint Nigerians crazy. It's going to paint Nigerians as thieves. even though that's not what all of us do. In the US now, like there's no day where a case of fraud is not being reported, and when they report it, Nigerians will be a part of it. And those of you who are tribal bigots, when they were reporting this guy's story now, nothing said, there was nowhere in the article where it was reported as, oh, Nigerian Yoruba. There was nothing like that. They said a Nigerian. There was nothing like Nigerian Igbo. There's nothing like Nigeria Edo or Nigerian this or Nigerian that. They reported, if you look back at all of the news that I've been bringing when it comes to cases like this, they've always reported as Nigerian. Me reading it, I can tell what is the tribe of that person, but I'm not going to come out and say, oh, a Nigerian this, a Nigerian Yoruba. I'm like, at some point, I did it in a couple of videos, but like, there's no need. I'm not a tribal bigot. I'm not tribalistic, so there's no need for that. It goes on to show that those of us who are still going on the case of being tribalistic in Nigeria, we need to get ourselves checked. We need to get ourselves checked. If we don't love ourselves at home, what makes you think that they're going to love us abroad? And yes, I know this is talk of fraud, but yes, no tribe, no be one tribe they do fraud for Nigeria, for abroad. All tribes do it, and tribe, all of these people that do fraud abroad, I said, no be only Nigerians, other people do it as well. So what am I trying to say in essence? I'm not promoting fraud. I'm not promoting being a tribal bigot here, but be a better person for your own generation. Stop stealing people's money. Stop ruining people's lives because of your own enjoyment. Because this money, you will get it. You either, for him now, you probably get the money, he will spend it on girls. He will spend it by going to clubs, buying maybe 1 million naira bottle of NSC or Prosecco at the expense of somebody else's life. Guys, we need to change. We need to change. With that being said, guys, leave your thoughts and opinion in regards to what I've shared in this video. Like I said, I'm happy that they are extraditing him. He's going to serve his jail time and they're going to get that money off him. And please, victims as well, let us be very, very careful as well. Internet has changed a lot. Be very, very careful about the things you share on social media as well. Like, you know, even when you're on the dating app, even if you order from online and you want to throw away your trash, make sure you are ripping off your address, your name, all of those things. So maybe I'll do another video where you can actually stay safe on the internet. I think I'm going to do that video actually. But yeah, victims, be very, very careful. If something does not look real to you, it doesn't look real. Just believe in your instinct, please. With that being said, guys, this is the end of my video. If you've watched it now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video. Do not hesitate to join my membership, and I'll catch up with you in another fraud file. All right, bye.